A former Utah State Senate candidate's sexual abuse trial ended abruptly in a mistrial this week. Well, KSL investigator Daniela Rivera first reported about this, that Brandon Beckham was charged with a sex crime in 2022.
She joins us now with a look at the bizarre circumstances that led to the jury being sent home mid-trial. Daniela?
Well, that's right, Dan and Deanie. Brandon Beckham faces one felony charge of forcible sexual abuse filed nearly 3 years ago. The trial was underway in Provo this week with the accuser on the stand under cross-examination by one of Beckham's defense attorneys when everything came to a halt.
Right after a break in the trial, Brandon Beckham's lead defense attorney informed the judge that his female co-counsel was not comfortable with Beckham's personal interactions with her and did not want to continue as counsel.
She said the hand was getting noticeably lower when it would touch her on the back.
The lead attorney then told the judge he also had a conflict and requested a mistrial. At first, the judge was resistant.
It's a social faux pas. It's not really a crime.
But the next day, the judge agreed to have another judge talk to the lead defense attorney confidentially and make a recommendation. In her ruling, that independent judge wrote she considered additional context and information, including undisclosed attorney-client communication, and advised the lead attorney should be allowed to withdraw. She also wrote, the defendant is entitled to have counsel that can provide adequate representation free of conflicts. However, the defendant is not entitled to benefit from a conflict that is created in large part based upon his own actions.
But in fact, that's almost exactly what happened here.
KSL legal analyst Greg Skordas says Beckham does benefit from the mistrial.
It gives him another 4, 5, or 6 months of freedom. And it also gave him the opportunity to see part of the state's case.
But Skordas says the judge that advised a mistrial would not have done so based solely on what was shared in open court.
It's likely that something occurred, or the defendant disclosed something, or his attorneys learned something more than just what's on its face here.
Today, Beckham told me he didn't do anything unprofessional. In a statement, he called the accusation against him false and said in part, the recent mistrial is a necessary and positive step toward protecting my Sixth Amendment right to a fair trial. And he is confident that justice will prevail.
Both defense attorneys involved said they can't comment because the case is still pending. A spokesperson with the Utah County Attorney's Office told me this result is frustrating both for them and for the woman who accused Beckham, who had to emotionally prepare for this trial. But they will be retrying this case as soon as possible. Deanie.
Okay. Hopefully we'll get a chance to hear more about it then. Thanks, Daniela.